Today we're exploring another lost relic of Rutland, the ruins of Tixover Lodge, which hold mysteries and many unanswered questions. Tixover is a small village closely tied to my home village of Ketton, which was the Christian hub of the area, drawing in parishioners from outlying villages like Tixover, Newbottle and Wychley. Tixover occupies a position on the northern bank of the River Welland and has splendid views over the floodplain. There are a number of grand houses, but one remains lost to time, until my father recently noticed it on an old map. Tixover Lodge. This is a map of the area from 1798. By the mid-1800s, when this more modern map was produced, we can see the lodge clearly outlined. Here we can see a collection of 4 reasonably large buildings and a pond to the south, and this is what it looks like today. You would never know what was hiding within. So after the tip-off from my dad, I headed out to explore. Entering the wood, it's very overgrown, but heading towards the west side I began to see signs of human occupation. Rusting metal, disturbed earth, and then suddenly a stone wall protruding from the ground. These are the remains of one of the buildings, and curiously, just next to it, under one corner of the foundations, a huge overhanging pit. The stonework of the wall extends right up to the edge of the pit and then even overhangs it. Is this the remains of a mine shaft? To me this seems unlikely, as no maps mention any mines, and nobody would dig a mine so close to the corner of a building, or build so close to a mine shaft. Perhaps it's a sinkhole. While there are no obvious tool marks, I entertain the possibility it could even be an older medieval stone pit which was covered up and forgotten, and the lodge was then subsequently built over the site without knowledge of the pit, and it's subsequently opened up. It would appear a poor muntjac must have fallen into the pit at some point and with no way out sadly died. A few metres away there's another pit, similar in depth, but narrower, overgrown with hart's tongue. Turning back to the ruins, there are the remains of a tracked vehicle. I wonder if this was some sort of steam engine, and whether it was involved in the demolition of the lodge, or some other purpose, perhaps to do with the pits. Lying nearby are numerous piles of what look like Collyweston slate. Are these off of the lodge's roof? Or could it be possible that they came out of the mine? Moving on, here are some red brick structures. These are similarly ruinous, and it's difficult to imagine a grand lodge at this site. These are the remains of the 2 more northern buildings seen on the older map. No trace of the pond was in evidence, though there was some active mining going on by the local badger population. Scouring the rest of the wood, there was little else that looked related to the lodge, just the remains of some old shooting hides and some animal bones. The area around the lodge is active farmland and continues to be cultivated as it would have been in the time of the lodge, though now much more mechanised. I will concede I have introduced you to an interesting site, but I have been unable to really answer any questions about it. Rather, I have generated more, which need answers. So, let me know, do you know anything about Tixover Lodge? Are these mines? Are they sinkholes? If there's any geologists watching, I would love to see your opinion. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and if I come into new information, perhaps we can do an update on the origins of Tixover Lodge.